sorry, I don't have this code. Ladies and gentlemen, today we're going to, the motion before this House is that this House believes that it's legitimate for governments to deny access to social media in terms of social upheaval. Let's welcome the opening government. Let's welcome the Prime Minister to open up today's debate.
This House believes that it is legitimate for government to deny access to social media in times of social upheaval. First of all, I would like to define the phrase access to. Well, it just simply means to open the page on internet. And as for social media, we will define that as Facebook, Google+, BBS, Twitter, and etc. Those medias that can promote social interaction. Alright, as for the background, we would like to set the background in Taiwan today, which is a democratic country that protects human rights. And finally, about social upheaval. We define that as chaos, social chaos, serious enough to overthrow the government by violent means. For example, revolution. It has to be that serious. And as for the argument, we believe that if a revolution really occurs in Taiwan, in order to stop people or the mobs from connecting with each other and to gather military forces, we have to close all such social medias in order to stop them from connecting with each other. Also, most of the time, I would like to give an example. In the revolution that just happened in the Middle East, it was actually caused by Facebook connection. So we believe that if there really is a revolution happening in Taiwan, we have to stop them from doing the same thing and causing serious damages to the whole nation. And our second argument is to stop stimulating ideas from spreading across the country now. We believe that in most serious chaos or revolution, it is caused by some people stimulating ideas to people. And in that case, we would like to stop this access for those stimulating ideas to spread across the country. And then, during the period of a serious chaos, the government, we believe, should be the only broadcasting organization, which means that only the official government can give information to the society, to the very chaos society. And also, it is a great means,
请你用麦克风，对隔壁太吵。我们时间自己在。Sorry, release.
And also, it is an effective means to stabilize the situation. We believe that it is only necessary to deny access to social media only in the time of the chaos. After the riot is over, then we should immediately open the access to social media again. And the last, we would like to emphasize that we don't expect to do that, but if necessary, we believe that it is legitimate for government to deny social access to social media in times of social upheaval, only when the upheaval was serious enough to cause revolution. Alright, so I would like to sum up what I just said again. First of all, in order to stop mobs from connecting with each other, and to stop stimulating ideas to keep spreading across the country. Also, government should be the only broadcasting organization during the period of the chaos or in a revolution. And last, to stabilize the situation until the riot is over. After that, all access will be open again. Thank you.
This speaker speaks for 4 minutes and 54 seconds.
We thank the Prime Minister. Now I would like to call upon the Leader of Opposition to continue the debate.
Okay, first of all, I would like to make some rebuttals. First of all, you mentioned that the internet usually spread a lot of messages, and sometimes it is for military, and you want to prevent them from some military forces. However, not all messages are about military forces, and you cannot just shut it down. So we don't think that it is an effective way to solve the problem, because you just shut it down all without thinking the groups whether it is threatening or not. And the second rebuttal is about the social upheaval. You mentioned that during this, for the time being, you will have this kind of you will deny access to social media. However, when will the social upheaval end? And what if your definition of social upheaval is to take control and will release at the government's will without paying attention to the people's rights? Okay, and this is our rebuttals. And I would like to give some arguments. First, we think that people have the right to express themselves, and so the social media is an important access to convey their ideas. Since in this modern world, there are a lot of information and data, and we need the social media to express ourselves. Because of the modern technology, because the information are too large, and if you just shut it down, it will definitely deprive people's rights. And also, if you deprive people's rights, you have to do something to make up for their inconvenience, like. What are they going to do when they're working or when they're in school? What are you going to do? You just shut it down without giving us a reasonable policy to say that a reasonable policy to convince the residents. And our second argument is it is ineffective to just shut it down. And we have a doubt that whether you can just shut it down, because social media is very prevalent today, and we think this policy is really ineffective. And why not just focus on those who spread the threatening messages, or why not just focus on the hackers? Instead of focusing on all the public. Yes, so we think it is ineffective. And also we think that social media, though it is widespread and it may be threatened, we think that we cannot just look social media on the negative side. It has some positive side as well. We can hardly live without social media today because we have a lot of information to know. And if you just shut it down, what will the information goes? Is it controlled by the government? And we will have a doubt that the government may control the message and keep what they want to say. And this is very unfair to the public. Yes.
This is only during revolution period.
Yes, but though it is only during the social upheaval, as I mentioned before, we think this kind of denial is ineffective, and you deprive the most people of the society, the right of the most people's rights. Actually, we should just prevent the minority, those threatening and hackers, not to all the public and all the citizens. So in some, we think that the government should not deprive people's right to express themselves just because they're minority. And the second is, we think that it is ineffective for the government to just shut it down because it is very hard for you, and it will waste a lot of time and money to just shut it down. And actually, it has become very prevalent right now. How can you efficiently and effectively shut it down? And the third one is, we think the social media plays a positive role in our society. And if the government just shut it down, we may also doubt that the government wants to control our people's thoughts and wants to deprive people's rights. Thank you.
Wait a minute. Let me just talk to the other person. We have them to close the door.
This speaker speaks for 6 minutes and 50 seconds.
所以你都被东西挡住了。
Please call the desk people.
Okay, whatever. Okay, let's welcome the Deputy Prime Minister to continue the debate.
Ladies and gentlemen, here are my rebuttals. The first rebuttal is that they said that people have the right to express themselves, and so if we shut the social media down, we're depriving their right. But now we're talking about revolution, and so people have right, but you don't have right all the time. You can do what you want, but not everything you want. So we think they can express themselves, but now it's about revolution. So there's something that you can't. If the things that you want to talk about is about starting a revolution or something bad for the country. We don't think that it's good to let it spread on the internet. So we think that this is, though they can express themselves, but there's sometimes some occasions that they have to be restricted. And the second rebuttal is that they said, what should we do if we shut the internet down? For the people who are working at school or working or at school, if they want to communicate with others. We think, because now we're talking about social media on the internet, so if you want to communicate with others, you can just use telephone. And the third one is that they said this is ineffective, and they want us to focus on who spread those stimulate information. But the problem is that the internet is so big, so it's hard to find who is the first guy, who is the one who's really spreading the information. That's bad for the government and bad for the society. And the fourth one is, how should we shut it down? We think that we can just restrict the internet, like in China, the government have some restrictions to the internet, so the people there can't open some website. Yeah, like that. And here are, I have 3 arguments. The first argument is about safety, because information, if somebody spread bad information, that's gonna have started a revolution for a country, and that may cause the society really be in chaos, and it may cause a lot of damage to people's, like their property and their safety, and it's really bad for the social safety, and it causes people to get scared and can have a happy life. And I'm going to talk about the second argument. It's about the speed it spread, because we all know that if you use social media, you can interact with many people at one time. Like in Facebook, if you're using a chatting room or something, you can add a lot of people in a chatting room, so you can communicate with people in one time. And so, or if you have some, you want to say something, you put it on Facebook, and at the same time, a lot of people, maybe tens, thousands, or millions of people will see what you post on the wall. So we think that for the social media, the information you want spread will be too quick, and if this information is bad for the government and may cause damage for the society, and if you later, we think that this will spread this bad thought, this evil thought will be spread quickly and will speed up the country's going to chaos. And yeah, if some terrorism or some horror plan is being spread, we think that this is and you can also gather people really quickly in this way. Like I said in Facebook, you just put a lot of people in the chat and ask them, and everybody can see it immediately, and they can be summed up really just in like a second. You can just sum up like about 10 people or so, or more. Yeah. So We think if you're spreading horrible ideas or some evil plans, it will be spread quickly. And if you want to do something in action, you can gather people really quickly. Yeah. The third argument is about realness. Because through social media, you can't really know what kind of people you're talking to, and you don't really know what he wants to convey to you. So you can't see the people, you can't see what his face is. You don't know what kind of face expression he's having when he's talking to you. So so you can't really know what information you're getting. So we think that this may cause the wrong concept to spread. And I would say again that now we're talking about revolution. So if some rebel that they hate the government and it's because their own benefit or because their own reason, and it's not in an objective perspective, they may spread their evil thoughts on the media, in our internet. So people that doesn't think really hard may believe in what they say, and this may also cause safety, the social safety to get damaged. Thank you.
This speaker speaks for 7 minutes and 24 seconds.
Okay, we're saying the deputy president, so let's welcome the deputy leader of Let's welcome the deputy leader of opposition.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen of this house. First, I have few rebuttals, and then I will keep moving on to explain our argument. My first rebuttal to the other side is they said that after the social upheaval happened, that they will shut down those social media. But it is that the revolution is already happened. So it is already happened. To solve the problem, you should communicate with the people. You should try to have a platform, a way to let two ways people talk, to understand each other. By your way, merely using force and try to shut up their mouth will not work. And second, a question raised to their side is they talk about a Middle East case that caused chaotic, but we don't really understand the content of that example. And thirdly, they said they shut down, and the only way to distribute the information of social media is by the government. Only the government can broadcasting at that time. But we have a question that can we really trust the government's broadcasting? What if there are some untruth inside their broadcasting? And another last rebuttal is that they said because they cannot find the guy, the hacker, who is distributing those bad terrorist ideas and those things, so they want to shut down it and partially open the social media. But we say that you cannot shut off just because you cannot find the criminal. You should advance your force. This would not help. Now moving on to our third argument. Yes?
I believe it is too late to communicate with people after the revolution has happened. In fact, the only way is to stop it as soon as possible.
I think you should solve the problem, not to use force to want them to shut up. And I think communicate is the way that two sides of people can understand each other and can really get into peace. Third argument is the positive effect of social media. It is the importance of social media, especially in those chaotic times. First is that it's a way of letting people know what's going on now. So it's like a place that government and people can communicate and can the people or the revolutionary those group can say what they are asking for, and the government can kind of respond and find a compromise with each other. And secondly, it's a platform that will let lots of opinions flow. For example, that maybe many experts will come up with ideas to negotiate the two parties, and maybe some articles would provide some practical plans about solving the chaotic or how Taiwan should go. The fourth argument is if you shut down, it will only cause more upheaval. The upheaval is not only the problem, but also lots of people's anger would arise. It is that when you enclose the message, that means only one perspective, one person, one group of people is talking. It's like a monologue, like maybe one dictator is telling them what's happening now. But let me give you an example. I would like to tell you that not all the revolutions are bad. For example, if the government corrupts a lot and is making, maybe the president is taking lots of money home and going to the vacation all the time, and the people or the other party really is object to the situation now and really want to tell or to tell the government that it's time that they should stop corrupting. Lots of officials should get on their work. In this way, that means the other party is like the voice of people. They arise the revolution, but they're telling the justice. They're telling the right thing. In this way, you cannot solve the corrupt problem by just shutting down the social media. And those brave and justice persons, they're telling the truth. You cannot just because they're telling the drawbacks and you don't like those disadvantage of you, so you use all the way to try to stop them. And I think that the government side should think why there is the social upheaval happen. Like what is the root problem of the social upheaval? Merely shut down the media would not work. Your point?
We believe that the government can reform after the revolution is over. Revolution will just cause more pain.
I think if we don't have a practical revolution, just merely saying revolution, it's hard, it's vague, that our two sides might have different opinions about this revolution. You said that you can reform I forgot. So our stand, we have 4 arguments. The first is the people's right to access those social media. They have the right to know what's going on. And the second is it is very ineffective to do this because you cannot solve the root. And the third is the positive effect of social media. They can help to negotiate the people and solve the problem. Fourth is it will create more upheavals if you do so. Thank you.
This speaker speaks for 7 minutes and 6 seconds.
We thank the deputy leader of opposition, and that was the end of the upper house. Let's welcome the member of government to open up the closing house case.
presentation. First, I'm going to give some rebuttals. The first one is that the opposition side say the right of express the opinion of people is very important. But when it's time for in the revolution, how is that right is so important that it is more important than the safety of the people. If it's in the revolution time, it's not necessary to have to protect this right. And if the minority is threatening the majority, then the government has the responsibility to protect the safety of the people. And another one is that they say if we shut down the internet, it's not very effective. But actually, the reason that we want to shut down the internet is because we don't want the people to have too much connections. But there's no way, there's no method that can be really effective to control the connection of people. We just give this method. And the third one is that the opposition side say that the government should communicate with the people. But actually, why the government should use the social media? They can use TV or broadcast or other method. Why they have to use the social media? And also they say that if we open the social media, then there can be a lot of opinions floating on the social media. But actually, when it's in the revolution time, the government should ask for some really professional person, not to ask all the society, because there will be too much not really important things that information. So we think that this is wrong. And they say that they want that people to express their opinions. That is right, and we think that we do not against all the protests. If you are expressing your opinions peacefully, then we agree and we will accept. But if you use violence or other kinds of action, then we will ban it. Okay, after the rebuttals, I'm going to give our arguments. And before the arguments, we want to say that our team's stance is that the government should protect the safety of the people, because when in the revolution time, and most of the people is in really serious danger. So the responsibility of government is to maintain the stability of the society. So we don't want to make the chaos become bigger and bigger. Okay, so our first argument is that we want to shut down the social media because we want to prevent the connection of different people groups in our country. And because we don't want these groups to combine their intelligence or money or resources, we don't want they to become stronger and stronger so that the government cannot control them anymore. Yes.
There are still other ways they can contact each other, not just the social media. So it's not effective.
Oh, yes, it's like I just said that this is the one way that we want to prevent their connections, but we can also use other method to prevent their connections, and this motion is can be just one of our method to prevent their connection. And I'm going to give the second argument. That is, the threats is not only coming from the domestic area, but it can also come from the outside the country. We don't want the chaos in our country become an international upheaval, and that will be too big to solve. And let me give an example, like when the French Revolution, the country near France, they want to prevent their people of connecting each other because they don't want the country. They don't want the social upheaval become too big. So nowadays, we also want to prevent the spread of the upheaval internationally. And the third argument is that if we stop the connection of the people, then it's easier for government to suppress the upheaval. It's easier to recover the stability of society sooner. And the reason that we say that the stability of the society is so important is that we want to reduce the fatality and casualty in the country. We don't want any more people to die or to hurt. And to sum up, in the revolution time is the government should prevent the minority to hurt the majority. So we want to protect the safety of people, so that we want to prevent the connection not only in the domestic but also internationally. And in the end, we want to recover the stability of the society. Thank you.
This speaker speaks for 7 minutes and 31 seconds.
We thank the member of government. Let's welcome the member of opposition to continue the opposition side's case.
Mr. and Mrs. Speaker, I want to give some rebuttals to the government side. First, the opening argument says, for example, China can control their media, and so the people won't get some wrong information. But the truth is that the China government don't let the people know what happened in the past history, and the China people can know the truth about the past. And the opening government also says the revolution will cause the serious damage. But I think if we have the social media, the people can judge what is good and what is bad. The opening government's conception is that their conception is that all the people are stupid, and they don't know how to judge what is good and what don't know what the pros and cons, and they are easily to be controlled or they are easily controlled to do the revolution. And No. And third, and the closing government also says if we in the upheaval, in the time of upheaval, and if they shut down the social media, they can protect the people's security and make the social more stabilized. But in reality, we think some people is good and then don't involve in the revolution. If they are hurt or injured in this revolution, and they want to call the government for help, but they have no social media. They can call the help, especially in the upheaval time. The telephone line cannot always be cut, and the only way to call for help is through the social media. So they want to prevent the people from serious damage, but we think they shut down the social media. That will cause the innocent people die. And the opening government also says Taiwan for Taiwan, some people are look some information from the social media and they go to the revolution. But we think the situation is that the revolution is reasonable, such as the media is controlled by the 忠实网络, and so we have the right to know the truth. So and I will give some arguments. And first, we think if the government is so bad, why this government should exist? So people have the right to discuss on the social media to decide should they go to overturn this government. And if this government is not so bad, like the social media said, and people can only push some good on your Facebook and they won't participate in your revolution. And the second argument, I will give more focus on the Middle East. In the such as in the Tunisia, and we know in the case of Arab Spring, the origin is the people is bullied by the government, and he can resist, and he had no way to help to solve his problem. So he commits suicide, and the other people know the situation. They spread this information on the social media, and so they can know the truth. In this situation, we know that people is very poor, and he should be given more focus, and she shouldn't be ignored. So my argument is that the social media can, even in times of upheaval, they also can express what their idea and what their conception and what their thoughts. And this is not a bad thing. And the third is it's hard to distinguish the social media from the not from the other websites, because the opening comment says some famous case like Facebook or YouTube, but we think people can use other fame, other name to open other website to spread the bad information. So it's no feasibility, and so our team instance is that the problem is people have to know the problem, why the people happen and what the problem must be solved, and the social media can provide this way, and we can solve the problem in a quick way. Thank you.
This speaker speaks for 7 minutes and 53 seconds.
The last part will be ignored. The last part of the speech will be ignored. Okay, we thank a member of opposition. Let's invite the government whip to summarize the debate in favor of the government bench.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. First, I want to give some rebuttals to the previous speakers. The previous speaker mentioned about the case of China. But I think that what's wrong with China controls the media. People in China are living a peaceful society, so what's wrong with that? So I don't know what's your rebuttal. And the second rebuttal is that you mentioned that people can judge what's wrong and right even in the times of social upheaval. But we think that we strongly believe that avoid casualty and fatality is more important than people's judgment. In terms of social upheaval, we don't want innocent people die because of this kind of social upheavals. So we think that people's judgment is less important. And our third rebuttal is that you mentioned that nowadays people can only call the government for help by the social media, but you forgot that we have telephone, we have cell phones, and you cannot say that in terms of social upheaval, the lines of telephones will be cut. Because in the time of World War I and World War II, people cannot use Facebook to call the government for help. They use telephones or cell phones. And our fourth rebuttal is that you mentioned revolution are reasonable, and you use the example of 旺旺中时. But in our definition, the revolution is about people killing other people. People want to upturn our government. It's not like as peaceful as a case of 旺旺or 中时. So and by the way, we do not against all revolution. If you want to express your disagreement about 旺旺中时, you can sit in front of the doors of government, not in the ways of killing other people. No. And in today's debate, there are two clashes. The first is about the social media's role in the society. For the opposition side, they think that social media is always good, and there are few bad guys on the internet that can harm people through the social media. And I also think that the right to express opinion is more important than the safety of our people. But we think this is wrong. We think that some people may express stimulating ideas through the social media, and we think that through the social media, people can connect with each other. The upheaval groups can connect with each other to become a bigger upheaval groups that may do more harm to our society, to our innocent people. And And also, we believe that people on the social media may express unreal information. So how can you trust that our people can tell what's wrong, tell right from wrong? So we think that it is important to deny access to the social media. And our second clash is that, you know, the two sides talk about what is social upheaval. For the opposition side, they believe that social upheaval is not so, will not cause serious harm to the society. They believe that the government can catch the minority that create a social upheaval, and they believe that people's convenience is more important than people's safety. So they believe that we should not deny access to the social media because people have to check on Facebook, have to find some comic books through the Google, and also the government they believe that government should find other ways to communicate with people who start a social upheaval. But we believe that the government's denying access to the social media is the first action. Government can still communicate with those people after the government calm them down, or after the government reduce the damage these people cause to our society. Yes.
We doubt that whether it is effective to shut down the social media, since TV and magazine can also pose a threat to the society.
We think that you mentioned that the government may tell the untrue information for the people, but we think that TV or even magazine, reporters can still report information from the both sides, from the upheaval side and from our government. But we don't want upheaval groups to connect each other through social media, through Facebook, through Google, through other ways. We don't want them to become bigger that cause serious damage to our society. Yes.
To your logic, so the government side also can use the social media to say they are.
No. The social media is Google, Facebook, YouTube. Is not TV. The government can still give information to the people by television, not by Facebook. They are different in the definition of our government. Yes. Thank you.
This speaker speaks for 6 minutes and 20 seconds.
Defend the government will. Dr. Cao shall invite the opposition will to summarize the day in favor of the opposition side and everybody's history.
So, ladies and gentlemen, now I'm going to give 3 rebuttals first. And first, that the government side said that the people's opinion is not so important because we should not care about people's judgment in the social and legal times. But actually, in the times of revolution, we should base our opinion on the people's opinion, or there will be no revolution. Revolution happens because some voices are being depressed, or some voices of the people are not effectively connected to the government. So, and if we want to solve the problem, the best way is to base on people's voice. So we cannot just deny it. And the second is about the Wang Zhong's opinion. We believe that the government side is understanding what we are meaning. We're not supporting killing other people or something. And in that case, and even in this time, in this peaceful time, the Wang Zhong is actually controlling the media, the public media. And if we do not have the social media like Facebook or like Google Plus, how can we really get other information if our media is actually controlled even in this peaceful time? And the third is that our intention to find the truth, to know the information does not contradict with your your team stands, that's safety. Actually, the truth can actually bring the real safety. So, and that point will be clarified later. And here are the following are 4 clashes in today's argument, and here's the first one. It's about how we should, the government believes that we should avoid, during chaos time, we should avoid people to communicate with each other, to making up a bigger chaos group, or making up a bigger maybe a revolution or terrorist group. But actually, but we also said that if we want to communicate, we still have cell phones and phones in other ways. So you're actually making a contradiction yourself. If the revolution groups can communicate with each other or contact each other through maybe through an email, through a phone, or through other ways, why do you cut off the social media just because they cannot connect each other? And even if you also cut off other connections, the ones really want to set up the chaos, or the ones really want to overthrow the government, they will have other ways. They will have that systematic spy. And how can you really stop those real important, real serious problems? This is not effective, and this cannot stop the problem. Yes?
Social media is faster.
So the matter is about the time. So I don't think that is the problem, because the effectiveness is really important, and through the phone, or maybe if you said the social media is faster, emails are equally fast. So that's not a problem. And the second catch is the following: that they believe that the government should be the only information resource, the only information source during the social upheaval times. But first of all, it's hard to define social media under your definition, because you said that the Facebook, the Google Plus, so is PTT a social media, or if we have a forum, and is that a social media? And if we have a website, you can use it. Other people cannot leave messages under, but I can post my opinions. Is that also called a social media? If you want to do that, or you're saying you want to shut off the whole internet system, it's not feasible. So, and from other points, you said that if other people are giving too many chaotic discussions and you only want the experts' opinion, actually we're not stopping the government to ask opinion for experts. Of course, you can ask opinions from experts, but the public opinion should be give respect, and that is important. And about, you said that people, and that is an important point, that we believe people can judge from these informations, because our nation is based on people. So we should believe that people can judge from this information. And if the government is only giving information without receiving the feedback, that may be distorted. We need interaction. It's not TV or radio can give. The third catch is that you said that it is too fast and it was hard to control or everything about it. But in our opposition side, we believe that if we legitimate to cut off the social media, that would be used. That would be used during the chaos, the chaos period, because as we know that during chaotic period, the government is a mess, and maybe the military force will be controlled by other maybe evil party or other military forces. So if you legitimate this, they can say that, okay, I'm cutting on the Facebook because according to a law, you legitimate. So this is not about, this is about the bad governments. This is, in the case of the government, is evil. And in other case, if the government is right, because without a platform, the people may be misled by the ones who want to make up some chaos or make up some or others that is not the government, but they are trying to overtake the government, so they are misleading the people and saying that, see, the government, what the government said is not true. So without this interaction, the government cannot really convey what they're talking about. And the final is that, is about our team stance, is that the government side believes that they believe that the safety is the most important part, but we believe that truth is the most important part. Our team stance is that with truth, the people can actually be real safe. It can be real safe. And this is back in an era an example that the people need a platform to clarify themselves, and especially in the revolution time, you need truth to really see what is right, to tell right from wrong, and that in the case that fully communication and fully interaction, that is how our society can give back and can go back to stable status as fast as possible. So this is our argument. Thank you.
This speaker speaks for 7 minutes and 34 seconds.
Debaters, please cross boards and shake hands.
这没理你。
现在还有在录哦？
还在录啊？那我算了。哎，这录下来，我放到 YouTube 哦。
这边要自动消。